Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. We're going to get started talking about the Kentucky ballot measures here. So let's go ahead and talk about Amendment 1. And that amendment, of course, is going to be in regards to voting. Okay? So, obviously, we've had a lot of red states we've seen. They're trying to affirm that non-citizens or people that aren't U.S. citizens keep them from voting. Is that bad? The left wants to believe that's horrible. Well, here's the deal. There has been a widespread discontent, and this discontent has obviously surged in recent times. In regards to the 2020 election, the skepticism that was in that election, because even though there's a dispute, a lot of conservatives say there was widespread voter fraud, while most people will say there wasn't. I will say for sure there was some sort of fraud in that election. It can be little, there can be minimal, there was fraud. There is some sort of fraud in every election, but there was obvious fraud in 2020. We've seen, of course, footage of people trying, as you know, meddling with the votes and meddling with the machines overnight. And honestly, I don't even know if those people have been charged. They honestly should. But obviously, regardless if you think the 2020 election was legitimate, if it wasn't legitimate, and I'm sure all of us think it wasn't, and to a point I feel the 2020 election was illegitimate, even though I think personally this wouldn't have changed the outcome. I feel Trump was kind of always in that rough position in 2020, so and the outcome remains the same. People are discontent. They are not happy with the voting system. And are they blaming immigrants like the left wants us to believe? No, they're not necessarily blaming immigrants. They're just trying to say, hey, look, we just want to affirm that voting remains a democratic process. So you got this Amendment 1, which claims this amendment would prohibit non-citizens from voting in any election held in Kentucky. So, meaning, I wish they were more, because we obviously know that non-U.S. citizens are not allowed to vote. That's already law. So, does this mean non-citizens as of non-citizens from Kentucky? So I think this theory I've been playing throughout the whole entire series. We've bumped into a lot of these ballot measures. Like from Iowa, we bumped into a ballot measure in Idaho, and now this is the next ballot measure in regards to voting, is this measure in Kentucky. Meaning prohibiting non-citizens. Are we meaning Americans or Kentuckians, non-Kentuckians? I think non-Kentuckians would make more sense. But take a look at the results here. You'll see this was, of course, very disputed, 62.4%. Every county supported it, but there was at least a triple-double-digit amount of people, 37.6% that voted against it. That shows how cuckoo for Cocoa Puff a lot of our country is. And looking at the results here, you'll see the county that supported it the most. That's going to be Allen County. Allen right here, 73% of the popular vote, very unpopulated. And a lot of these counties that voted for the yes option are unpopular. They are rural conservative areas. But they've always kind of traditionally been known for being conservative, even in the midst of a Democrat stronghold in Kentucky in the late 20th century and down ballot races. These counties have been kind of known for being more conservative. You got a group of counties right here that have voted in the 70% range, but obviously this county right here, 73%. That is Allen County. The county carries that title. So let's take a look at the no. Okay, no surprise here. Jefferson County was the least amused with this option. You'll see Jefferson County is where Louisville, Kentucky is. It's going for the yes option at 53%. There was at least 157,000 people that voted no, and that's 47% of the state of Kentucky. This is just ridiculous. I don't care if you're prohibiting non-citizens that are non-Americans from voting or non-Kentuckians from voting. Kentuckians should decide their own leadership, not any outside influence. Imagine a bunch of Californians going to Kentucky and this is controversial too. Perhaps this law, and I wish they put more emphasis into these amendments, perhaps it would prohibit outside residents that are temporarily staying in Kentucky, like students going out to the University of Kentucky, like a Californian going to University of Kentucky. That's saying, hey, look, you can't vote here. You're not a Kentucky resident. I am not sure if that is the case. I doubt that is the case. But if this really is a national issue where we're prohibiting non-Americans from voting, this is how stupid and lame half the country is. 37.6% says, you know what, we should allow everyone. Well, here's the thing about national security. It's out the window. We don't know who these people are, and maybe you are a citizen. Maybe you are here legally. Sure. But yet again, you got to climb the ladder to privilege, right? You need to climb the ladder to success in the country. Oh, no, you shouldn't have to do that. No, you have to do that. Well, here's the thing. It's always been that way. Hard work. And that's why the left hates hard work. And hard work, it builds skill. Something that a lot of our kids are lacking nowadays. So interestingly enough, okay, so yes, Kentucky Amendment 1 shouldn't be controversial, but it is. All right, Amendment 2 allows state funding for non-public education. You'll see another unanimous decision, no, all the way around the board. So you'll see mainly progressive states in support of this ballot measure. Why? And you'll see some conservative states. You'll see conservative counties, like they're in the 60% range. The reason why we have counties like Allen County, most conservative last time, 56%. Reason why we have this ballot measure sweeping all the way through is, first off, a lot of this involves what? More taxes, right? If the legislature is giving financial support to students in private or charter schools. Now, we need charter schools, right? We need a lot of private schools because our public school system is skewed. Our public school system has gone woke, and it's not fair. It's public school. It should be neutral. It should be access to all friendly ideologies. But it's turned into this very controversial, very one-sided, it's turned into a private school that's public. And really, there's no neutral school boundary anymore. So a lot of people are having to go to private schools, charter schools, or in other words, homeschooling. So, and a lot of these people believe, okay, we need more access to this. Now, the 760,000 people that voted in support of this ballot measure believed, yeah, you know what? The public school system's bad. Therefore, we need to give more funding to, in other words, more funding to charter schools, private schools, these schools that are not woke. So students have an opportunity to go to these schools. But the low tax conservative is also going to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Taxes are already high already. And I get it's Kentucky, but we live in a time of inflation and stagflation and a recession. And the last thing we need is that to go up more. So, and liberals alike, they're like, no. The liberals, progressives, they don't believe in the charter private school sort of stuff. They believe in public, state-funded education. So in the end, they're like, no. And we can make a conspiracy on why they support it. Oh, they want kids to wokeify. Well, not every school supports the woke ideology. It really depends on the school district. But you get what I'm saying. There's lots of discontent on public schools in the country. So obviously, looking at the results here, you'll see no. Robertson County, it's not the liberal counties, keep in mind. That's the most important. I'm telling you, it's mostly because of the tax hike. 74% of Robertson County. 74% of Robertson County voted against this ballot measure, voicing its discontent. Well, the yes option mainly, now it didn't vote for it, but McCary County, wherever that county may be, right here, McCary, 53%. It was controversial. It was a very, very tight race in McCary County, but ultimately no prevailed in that count. So, very interesting amount of ballot measures, just 2 ballot measures. But what do you guys think in regards to the state of Kentucky? Did they make the right decision? What do you decide? Okay, is it good to fund the public charter schools? Or would it be best to support the taxes? For instance, go low on taxes, wait, in other words, and really focus on the said recession and the inflation. Let me know down below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.